Anytime a situation happens in China, everyone blames Baba or expects Baba to crash. Look what this Twitter post said. But yes, please tell me why Baba is still a great idea. China Evergrande Group announces its shares will be suspended from trading in Hong Kong Stock Exchange on Monday without giving a reason. And this is what you're seeing. You're seeing everyone discount Baba because situations in China erupt or situations happen. Everyone keeps focusing on Alibaba, and this is always going to be the sentiment going forward, I feel like, in my opinion. But look what's happening. The top 10 US listed Chinese stocks by US ownership, Baba is not even in this. And people keep bringing up Alibaba like it's just insane to me. Baba is at 13% of US ownership, while these companies like Yum China, Beijing, Zhao Lab, Joy are at 46%, 50%, 60%. But people keep bringing up Alibaba because that's what attracts attention in the news, for clicks, for bait, for everything like that. Hello everyone, welcome to Just Invest Today, and in today's video we are talking about Evergrande suspends trading. Yes man, this just happened. This is crazy news. People are referring this back to the 2008 crash, housing crash, and they expect that to happen again in China. So people are just re-inferring that, like, yes, Alibaba's going down, JD.com, Tencent, this is going to crash the Chinese economy, it's not going to survive, blah, blah, blah. And this is what's happening. So let's read some of this article and get the gist of what's happening in China if you don't know. Because this is kind of important for the Chinese economy, because this does shift the focus of how Chinese consumers or Chinese people think about the market, right? So guys, before we get into this, can you like this video, subscribe to my channel? I'm always providing you guys with new content. So let's get into this. Evergrande shares suspended after report was told to destroy buildings. So basically Evergrande got illegally holdings of property development sites. And now the government is basically saying you have to shut down those properties because you lied and you didn't get it correctly. China media outlet says authorities demanded indebted property company demolish residential complex. Trading on Evergrande Group's shares was suspended in Hong Kong on Monday, days after Chinese media reported that the indebted property developer would be forced to demolish a residential development in the southern province of Hainan. Probably said that wrong, but give me some slack. The company, which has been a center of sector-wide crisis in the country for months, disclosed in a filing to Hong Kong Stock Exchange that the halt has pending the release of an announcement containing inside information. The company did not add further details. So we don't know for sure why this halt happened. I'm guessing that, man, Evergrande crisis, it's going to expand even bigger. It's going to leap into other sectors because a lot of property development in China was on this pretty much basis that you pay us money now and we are going to promise you future developments. But as you can see, Evergrande cannot do this forever. They can't keep paying their debts. They can't keep settling. So honestly, I think the government is just going to slowly shut down Evergrande and kind of help pay all the people that Evergrande owns, in my opinion, because they don't want this to be a huge crisis like what happened in the 2008-2009 recession with the whole housing crisis in US. Can you imagine all that happening in China again? That's going to just cause so much crisis. So I'm thinking, in my opinion, that the government is just trying to settle this very slowly, really gradually, and actually help Evergrande pay some of its debt back before it crashes suddenly. Because remember, a lot of US people, a lot of companies are in this debt. They're in the bonds. They have a lot of pretty much money in Evergrande. Even though it's a huge crisis, people still have hopes that they're going to actually pay it off like they're supposed to. Because if they don't, that's just going to crash the system. So I feel like the government is going to kind of let it down slowly and gracefully. So Evergrande missed a series of bond payments from September but had previously transferred the money owed before the 30-day grace periods ended. It was formally declared to have defaulted on its debts in December by rating agency Fitch after it failed to transfer funds due at the end of one such grace period. The company, which has come to embody the vast debts in China property sector, has more than 300 billion of liability and is in the early stages of a drawn-out, politically sensitive restructuring process. Both the government and investors have focused on its ability to maintain its hundreds of projects. So that's what I'm saying. I feel like they're going to kind of gradually just kind of continue as much as possible, and to the point where they can kind of slowly let down Evergrande. And remember, this is killing consumer sentiment, killing it, man, because now think about it. China really feels like the property sector is how they kind of contain their wealth, build their wealth with housing. Even in America, Canada, everyone uses their house as kind of like the luxury of building your wealth and pretty much getting equity. But think about it. If this is happening, a lot of these infrastructures, a lot of these companies, China, this false promise of, yeah, you're going to get this housing market, you're going to get your property, blah, blah, blah. And it's not coming to fruition. So you see in different articles that now Chinese consumers are actually looking other places to actually put their money. And actually luxury watches are climbing because they're not putting their money in housing anymore, because now Evergrande situation, they can't trust it. So Chinese consumers might be actually putting their money into like luxury goods, like watches, maybe like paintings, and maybe in stocks, because even the Chinese consumer, they don't trust stocks that much. They think it's always crashing, it's always up and down, volatile. But man, this might actually switch kind of the sentiment of actually maybe stocks is a good place to like unlock a lot of wealth. But people see still that your main residential your home basically is the point of where you build your wealth. So that's how a lot of Chinese consumers think. But maybe they're having that switch of sentiment because they are actually looking at luxury places, luxury watches, paintings, maybe even stocks in the future of actually a good hold of wealth. So trading in Evergrande shares, which lost 89% of their value last year, was halted in October. Hang Seng Mainland Properties Index dropped 3% on the money trading. Evergrande has grappled with interest payments on its international bonds, which at $19 billion exceeded those of any other developer, but over the coming weeks, it has faced deadlines on principal payments. So this is what's happening, man. They have $19 billion international bonds, and I don't think the government wants to upset all those international players. So I feel like they're going to try to actually get those payments going, and they're using the wealth of the guy. They're not letting him off easy. Like, you are going to have to pay it, or you're going to go in bankruptcy, you yourself, and you're not going to just give all this debt to the government to have to repay. And that's what you're seeing. The sentiment to all these Chinese companies now are just getting crushed because people keep feeling like anything that happens with China, it's Baba's fault. Baba is uninvestable because of Evergrande, blah, blah, blah. But no one, what happened in the 2008 and 2009 crisis? Amazon crashed 89%, and look where it's been, and look where it's happened. So you can't just say this is affecting Baba, Tencent, and all these companies. And when you mention it, again, I have to keep showing this chart because people are freaking delusional. Anything that happens with China, it's Baba, it's uninvestable, but they don't look at any other company. Do we forget Warren Buffett owns BYD and how much money he's made off BYD? But BYD, for some reason, it does not get affected by any of this news of China. It just goes unscathed. But Baba, Tencent, JD.com, Baidu, they all get hit by China news. But BYD is just goes forward, nothing happens. It's just weird. Like, all these companies that the Americans own the most, they just go unscathed. It's just weird to me. Here are the 10 US listed Chinese stocks with the greatest American ownership. Alibaba, not one of them. That's what I'm saying. How are these companies going unscathed? Except for Tal Education, Oriental Education. We know what happened with that. But Yum China, Hello Group, Trip.com, Tao Lao, Beijing, BYD, all of these companies have more ownership. But for some reason, no one talks about that when news comes out in China. No one says, oh, BYD, don't invest in that company. No one says that. It's always Alibaba, and it's always going to be Alibaba forever in my mind. Like, that sentiment is just never going to go away. So it's just like something we have to deal with as being Alibaba shareholders. You're always going to be front page news. Whenever something happens with China, you're going to be front page news. So that's what I'm thinking right now. That's the topic on my mind, guys. So please like this video, subscribe to my channel, and I'll get back to you in the next video. Peace!